Hey, what's up? In this video, I wanted to actually go over just a couple of the most recent English manga I have hauled, just because I recently finished a spreadsheet stock taking all of the books I have, and I was posting about this on my Instagram, but I counted 1,270 books in total. That includes manga, that includes like literature, comics, magazines, all that type of stuff. And I had, out of that, 858 of those books were manga, but only 48 of the 858 were in English. Everything else is in Japanese. So I just wanted to do a quick video to just, showcase all the recent English releases, just because I haven't really shown them off yet. Plus, I also have not read them either, because I'm kind of taking it slow. Some I have read, some I'm in the middle of reading. But I guess this video is more of if you're kind of not too sure of the alt-manga and gekiga scene in English right now, this can be useful to you. Mostly going to be gekiga, some pre-war stuff. But yeah, so we'll just get started. The first one that I have here is Ninja Sarutobi Sasuke by Sugiura Shigeru, who this book I actually have read, and I really enjoyed this one. This is probably one of my favorite English releases of the entire year. So Sugiura has had an English work in the past before. It was released by PictureBox, which is now defunct, in 2013, translated by Ryan Holmberg as well. So that book was called The Last of the Mohicans, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But that was, a while ago, more than 10 years ago. There is another translation of Sugiura's works in French, I believe, but this one is the most recent one. It only came out, I believe, this year. And essentially what it is kind of like gag nonsense manga, where we follow our main ninja here, Sasuke, who's pretty much like a Lovecraftian horror monster that goes around on an adventure fighting random ninjas. So yeah, it's pretty much just a lot of very visually focused storytelling, because Sasuke can turn into, or like can do these tricks or magic or whatever to trick his opponents into like seeing illusions and stuff, and that's his main thing. But another thing I really liked about this book was the very informative essay, of course, by Ryan Holmberg. So if you are into the topic of ninjas, that essay is quite good, because it goes through it goes through Sugiura and his influences, his impact on the manga scene, but also goes through ninjas as a symbol of entertainment as well. So I found that quite interesting, and because I didn't really know about Sugiura before, I've seen his art, definitely. It reminds me of, like Sasaki Maki and sometimes like Sakabashira Imidi as well, just because of how creative all of the panels are, all the stories are. But of course, Sugiura came first, because he was pre-war, and this was, I believe, published sometime in the 70s. There's a lot of info about the reprints and the redraws he did for some of his stories, but highly recommend this one. This is one of my favorite English releases. This is done by New York Comics Reviews, who also did the Tsuge Taro story as well. This is some other stuff that they do too. So very fun manga. So the next one that we have is the fourth installment in the Tsuge Yoshiharu English series. So this one is the Ova Electroplating Factory. I haven't touched this one yet. I have, of course, read the past 3 books in the series. So The Swamp, Red Flowers, and Nejishiki, but not this one yet. So from what I saw, if I go to the back here, here's the description of it. From what I saw, compared to Nejishiki, we might get a pretty distinct change in the type of stories, because Nejishiki was very poignant and very like dreamlike, surreal. This one seems to be going on a different direction. I'm not too entirely sure, but very excited to see what is in store for this one here. So it's the fourth one. There are 3 more that will be coming after. Holmberg has revealed the name of the third, sorry, not the third, the 5th book in this series on his Instagram, which I will probably link below. But of course, very fun to see more Tsuge Yoshiharu. Sorry, I had to cut because my voice was just killing me. But I was about to say, I have been collecting Yagyo and Gento issues, so once I get into that, I'll be able to see more of Yoshiharu's works outside of Gaara, which is quite exciting as well. But yeah, if you're a fan of Yoshiharu, then pick this one up. Just another staple in the world of Gekiga, translated into English. So that was the Tsuge book. Then we have next thing, which I'll pull out from the bottom, which is related to Tsuge, is My Picture Diary by Fujiwara Maki. So this one is kind of, it's an illustrated diary more than it is manga. But Fujiwara Maki is, or was the wife of Tsuge Yoshiharu. So this was published in 1981 she did start it. And what's cool about this was that this received the Eisner Award in 2024, so this year. And according to Holmberg's post on Instagram, there was like a sort of resurgence where it was reprinted in Japan. So I guess they did value that award and it brought attention back to this specific work. So that was really cool that it got reprinted again. But here's the inside of it, and this is sort of the format that the illustrated diary is in. So it recounts the daily living of course, Maki, Tsuge, and their son Shosuke, I believe their name was. I forgot the name there. But there is also an essay at the back. Quite a long essay too, so here's a brief glimpse of that. This is what I will be starting soon. So I've had this on my shelves for quite a while now, but I'll probably read these two in tandem. I know they're not directly related because it's more towards the period of The Man Without Talent. But, you know, we've got Maki and Tsuge together, might as well. So, next one, we've got Talk to My Back by Yamada Murasaki. And we've actually got 2 books here. This is another one titled Secondhand Love. So this is the description on the back. I should have mentioned as well, this is published by Jordan Quarterly. This is the same thing. I think all of these are, yeah, D&Q. So a lot of D&Q stuff here. So Yamada Murasaki was considered one of the 3 daughters of Gaara. The other 2 were Kondo Yoko and Sugiura Hinako. And I guess I was thinking as well, you know, the very first female mangaka in Gaara was Kuniko, Tsurita Kuniko over here. And I was wondering why she wasn't considered one of the 3 daughters. But I guess because she was one of the OGs, the daughters, you know, the 3 manga artists that I mentioned alongside Yamada, they came in later Gaara. So Tsurita was the OG essentially. So I guess that's why those were dubbed as the daughters instead of Tsurita. But I guess you could call it like the mother, the queen of Gaara, because yeah, she pretty much started off. My very first Gaara issue that I read, actually, it was a 1966 issue. Tsurita was in it. The very first story, it was like a I forgot I think it was called Onna. It was like a silent manga, one shot. No words or anything about like these cavemen, something like that, but that was really good. So yeah, Tsurita is a great manga, and this is Secondhand Love, which was released recently, and it also has some cool color pages as well. And you got this too. So at the back as well, we've got the synopsis, and I do believe both of these have essays. Yes, this one has an essay, and Talk to My Back should also have an essay as well. So great stuff, can't wait to get into those. And then let's move on to, might as well talk about Tsurita Kuniko. So this is The Sky is Blue with a Single Cloud. This one, I love the color of this one, blue and green. Great choice. This one here is also by Dean Q. Released a while ago, actually. Another thick book. I do wonder, actually, if Onna is in here. Not too sure. So yeah, you're getting stories from... Oh, it actually isn't here. 66, Woman. That's the story I read. So you get stories from 66 to 80. Yeah, I'll give you an example. This is the story I was talking about. My very first Garo one-shot ever. It was the first story in that 1966 issue. So I have very special memories with that story, but with Tsurita in general. This here is the little front illustration. That was cool, but yeah. Tsurita Kuniko, the OG, the first female mangaka in Garo. So great stuff there. Let's continue to move on with more Garo. We've got Red Snow by Susumu Katsumata. Picked this one up from, I forgot where exactly. It was like an Australian store. Because this was published a while ago. Not sure how hard it is to find now, but you don't really see too many copies of these out and about. So if you're familiar with Susumu Katsumata, did a lot of political shots in Garo, released Fukushima Devilfish in English by Breakdown Press, which was an anti-nuclear or a manga that talked about the dangers of nuclear power, sort of thing, also by DQ. So pretty much I think most of the books today will be by D&Q, which is pretty interesting, and a lot of them are by, well, if not most of them are by translated by Holmberg as well. This one, I'm not too sure. There might be an essay in here. Yeah, I think it's either an essay or an interview. I gotta check later. But yep, that was Red Snow. Then we've got, this one's a cool one. This one's not by D&Q. This is Tankuro by Gajo Sakamoto, who, this manga here is not Garo, but this is pre-war manga. So this is from the 30s, I believe, yeah. Hardcover book with a great slipcase as well. We've got color pages inside. So Tankuro, is considered to be one of the Japan's earliest superheroes, alongside Golden Bat, Orgon Bat. I don't really know what this is about, but it kind of looks like gag and action manga. But very interested in this one specifically because it is pre-war manga. Don't really know too much of that. I do know of Norakuro as well, but not too familiar with what it actually is about. I just know it is from that sort of same period too. But very nice slipcase as well. Very heavy too. And the last book that we have for today is Offshore Lightning by Saito Nazuna. So this one's an interesting one. It's also by D&Q. It's not from Garo specifically. The mangaka had started making manga in her 40s, so it was sort of later in her career. And so kind of this is like a later generation of Alt-Manga Gekiga, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Post-Garo female mangaka. So I know when she was drawing in her 40s, she had to take a break from her career for a little bit to take care of parents, some family stuff, and then came back to manga while also teaching drawing in, I believe, university. So this is really cool. Before this was published in English. I've never heard of Nazuna before, so also looking to get into this soon. Yeah, I got a bunch of all of these. Most of these I haven't read yet. Still getting through a lot of the books on my shelves. I'm just going through row by row. But yeah, so hope you enjoy this one. This is, I guess, more tailored towards those who aren't too familiar with these types of English releases outside of the mainstream. Some are recent, some are a bit older, but they are quite quintessential because they do cover and are the only English releases of a lot of Garo manga, like Kuniko Tsurita. Susumu has had one before, but that's out of print. You know, Yamada Murasaki, you don't really have anything else. These are the only two books. So quite quintessential if you are wanting to learn about Garo, if you want to know more about that specific period, because most of these also do have essays as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.